young homie like the pen, except I got more bars. Same car, same thing. Real players, no game. Keep guessing, straight guessing. Hit a stroke paint while she burning more flame. Red roses, black tape. Other cartridge reload.
My name is Revol. I'm an artist specializing in the genres of hip-hop, a little bit of R&B, and Latino urbano. My purpose as an artist really is to just bring back the soul and like purpose in music, kind of bring back just the old fundamentals of hip-hop and just portray that, of course, within my music and lyricism as well. First of all, I think being an artist is a privilege. It's just, I would honestly say just being an artist in itself is a dream come true already, because never did I actually think that I would even be able to become this actual thing. Because I mean, growing up, you're kind of just always told, hey, you know what, you have to be, chase something that's gonna make you money, chase something that's gonna be prosperous for your future. And I mean, realistically, everybody knows that this route can be very risky, and I mean, a lot of people are just scared to take that risk. But I mean, overall, I think the scene here is very, I think it's a little more low key, I guess you could say. I feel like there is a lot of places that host music and where music is being created and performed. However, not a lot of those places are very known. So I feel like within the Central Valley, that's always been kind of like a big problem, is okay, finding all these other underground artists and just kind of like being able to expose them. And even networking in itself, I feel like is very hard, because a lot of other artists, I feel like, are just hard to get in touch with. And I mean, of course, sometimes the whole problem with money comes into play as well. So unfortunately, not everybody's willing to do it just for the love of the art. So I kind of wish that would be a little more, that we focus more on creating art in itself and not really monetizing it. So right now, focusing on now, what I've been doing is pretty much just trying to get my school out of the way. But at the same time, I'm balancing, of course, my academic life with being an artist as well. So I've been focusing on less performances, but more on actual like recording and building me and myself as an artist. So right now it's been more like I guess you can say, quote unquote, like a romantic period, where it's just kind of spending a lot of time alone, analyzing just the world around me, and picking up on different experiences, and just finding inspiration in even like the things that I feel like are overlooked a lot of time, like even within like nature, and like going on walks and stuff, and just reflecting on life as a whole and what my purpose is, and of course like figuring out how to portray all that into my music. So I mean, right now I'm working on my third album, be my junior album. It's gonna be titled Fallen. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of content, a lot of new material coming soon, and I'm really excited. As of now, there is no date. It's looking sometime around December, winter or fall, around there, but it's not a for sure. Like I said, it's possible that it may change. We might have to postpone it, or we might release it sooner, just depending on, I mean, it really just depends what happens. So my previous albums, I feel like there was definitely some songs that were a lot stronger, and some other ones that lacked a little bit of me in them, I guess you can say. But for the ones that were stronger, I felt like Let Me would definitely be one of them. And from the album Heights, and from the first album would probably be Identity. Some of the stronger songs were like that, and the intro song. So I'd say right now with this third album, it really is just emphasizing who I am entirely. I'm doing my best to not focus on the whole time management or the time frame, because I just want to focus on, okay, perfecting my craft, making sure that it really is me, and there isn't any other incentives that are pushing me to sing or rap a certain way, or to try to set a false impression or false image of myself. Like, at the end of the day, what they see and what they hear in my music really is me, and my thoughts and my views on a lot of things. And of course, as I grow, some of those views change, some of them are strengthened. But it's kind of cool, because it's like I'm taking you through this journey with me, and you guys are kind of just seeing me grow along the way. In a way, it's almost intimidating, because I feel like sometimes you guys know me better than I know myself. So, I mean, it's definitely, this project's definitely gonna have a lot of surprises. It's always been a dream of mine since I was 4 years old, but I never actually took it serious until I got to college. So to be exact, I want to say around my 18th birthday. So it's been about 2 years now, and in those 2 years, I feel like I've grown dramatically, and it's just crazy looking back and seeing like, wow, how different I am now, and how I used to think, and how I used to even within my musical aspect, like express myself then. So I grew up listening to a lot of Tupac, a little bit of Biggie also, definitely Nas, a lot of Eminem also. So within modern artists now though, I would say that I really look up to and have been inspired by J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, G-Eazy, and Russ. Those are definitely, they've definitely been influential figures within my artistic career. So pretty much we had a show in downtown in Merced at the Hookah Lounge. It was called the Chandelier Hookah Lounge, and basically no one's to this day, they still don't know what happened. I guess they're still going through. I don't think my boy's had his trial yet, to be honest. It's crazy, yeah. It was never really resolved, like publicly resolved, because there was, of course, so many different stories. But long story short, shortly after I had gone up and performed, I seen the back door open. Security was supposed to be, taking care of everything. And then we see flashlights. And then I see two cops come in. And they're just like looking around, walking between the people. It was kind of awkward. Like, part of me just felt like being like a little smarty pants, being like, yo, nobody got to the party, But I mean, they're obviously there for a reason. I specifically asked one of the officers what he was there for. And the crazy thing is, he like completely ignored me. I legit felt like I was a ghost. Like, I stood right in front of him, asked him, officer, everything okay? Why are you guys here? And he walked right around me, kept looking around. Before we knew it, there was a bunch of officers in there, and then they were already bringing in like, it's like the riot guns, the ones that have like the sandbags. But obviously, I mean, a lot of students don't know that. A lot of people, when they're worse students, and everyone's gonna panic obviously when they come in arms like that. And well, let's just say like, I just heard a shot go off and all hell broke loose, to be honest. And like to this day, even based on the footage, like no one still really knows how all that happened. Their claim was that they were looking for someone that had a search warrant, supposedly, but I mean, there still hasn't been closure on that. As far as I know, to this day, there still hasn't been closure on that. I mean, that in itself was a huge learning experience for me, because it taught me, of course, to not rush things, to be prepared, to set up in advance, do a mic check in advance, to have my security on their top watch, because as you guys know, sometimes people get kind of rowdy, or some people will try to get in without paying, simple stuff like that. But I think it just helped me realize, just in general, how to manage my emotions. And I felt like a time where I was able to capitalize the most on that was when I had my second album release party, and it was just a great turnout. We had spent multiple weeks marketing, putting up on social media, just everything. I mean, going above and beyond to pretty much just blast it everywhere. And sure enough, there was a lot of people showed up, and it was great because I got to experience being within the audience as opposed to being on a stage. And I was actually doing like that with my song from Identity. And I was just like jumping in the crowd and stuff, and everyone's all hyped. And it was just like a super dope experience, just seeing everybody all hyped to my music. And it was a very humbling experience. So I'm Afro-Honduran and I'm Mexican. So of course, growing up, I was shown to, of course, embrace my Hispanic heritage. Spanish was my first language, of course, and well, I mean, as I'm writing sometimes, it just depends on the beat that my producer and I decided that we're going to use. And sometimes I just start kind of rapping to myself in Spanish in my head as I'm going. And I mean, I feel like the magic really occurs within the instrumentation of the beat itself. It just makes me feel some kind of way, and I end up expressing myself in my native language. And I mean, it just comes out naturally. It's not a process that like I force or anything. And a lot of times, to be honest, I really don't know when a song's gonna have Spanish in it. So I think it's something that I don't really see in modern music a lot, and I can't really say what specific person or place I got that from. It's just something that I guess on my own emotions just cause me to express myself that way. So one of my most streamed songs right now is "Let Me," and that song's actually about my girlfriend. So it's interesting because that song itself, the lyric starts by saying, "See you staring across the street, but I'm trying to be discreet. Now your eyes have met with mine, I think my heart just skipped a beat." And what's really, I think, unique about this specific song is it really tells mine and her story, how everything kind of just happened. I mean, I was helping my family members move into that neighborhood initially. And it was my brother's girlfriend's family. And the crazy thing is, my current girlfriend lives right across the street from her. So, I mean, that just ended up in the song like that. And I mean, I'm just taking you through the whole journey of how we got to know each other and how pretty much ended up falling for her. So, yeah. The hook on "Let Me" says,
Déjame enseñarte cómo ser feliz. No podré yo serlo sin tenerte a ti. Quiero ser yo el que te haga sonreír. Porque sin tu amor yo no quiero vivir.
it's just such an intimate and beautiful way to express yourself about loving someone in general, because I feel like nowadays a lot of the music that we hear and that the music industry pushes a lot is like very sexual, very sexualized. And I feel like this song overall was more to portray a more gentleman-like perspective of love and of loving a girl, and pretty much just showing like people in general that to get rid of that ideology of, you know, what every guy's the same and all guys just want like the same thing. And no, like there genuinely is good people out there, and not everybody has bad intentions. So with all honesty, I really like some of Justin Bieber's content. I think he has an incredible voice, and I would honestly I would really love to collaborate with him later in my artistic career, with all honesty, and I feel like I can really make like some cool pieces with him. So yeah. As to collaborations, I've actually tried multiple times to feature other artists, local artists specifically, and it's just unfortunate. I feel like a lot of times just a lot of things get in the way. Like sometimes our schedules conflict, and I mean, they aren't able to make it at the designated time. So as of now, it'd be my third album in, and I still pretty much have no features. And I mean, I think I just want to keep it like that, probably just for this last album. No features, just to show, I guess, me entirely. And I mean, definitely after this album, I do want to open that opportunity up to other artists as well, because I know we can just expand on what already the creativity that already exists, and I know we can make even greater pieces by bringing someone else's creativity into the picture. So yeah, I feel like a lot of times people get a lot of publicity for some things that I'm just like, why? And well, it's kind of like bittersweet. I feel like there's a lot of artists out there that are putting in like damn near like their whole heart into their projects, into their work, and who aren't being recognized, you know. And I mean, it's a little unfortunate because at the end of the day, we really don't know what controls all that. It's kind of just like a little hype that starts building. Somebody sees something catchy, funny, ends up on a meme or something, and next thing you know, boom, it blows up. And I mean, I think a lot of artists would be more than grateful to be able to have that exposure. So I mean, I'm a little bittersweet about it, you know. Not everybody's given that opportunity to shine like they deserve, I feel like. So I'm trying to remember what I said. Did I say specializing in the genres? What did I say?
Specializing in the genre.
What did I say?
Yeah. I'm a specialist.
Really?
We're gonna just have a card come out.
Here I am. He's like, my name's Revol. His business card just says like hip hop specialist.
This isn't hip hop. I'm a specialist.
It's like, who do you think you are?
Bro, what's turning yellow?
All right. So